Today we're looking for wild garlic, also known as Allium vineale. Allium is the group of plants that includes onions, garlic, and ramps, and it's a great group of plants to start foraging with because it's very safe. If the foliage smells like onion or garlic when you bruise it, and if the plant looks like a clump of grass with smooth stems, it's an allium, and that means it's safe to eat. I want to show you just how easy it is to find wild garlic. The plant is everywhere. So go ahead, take a step outside to your nearest lawn-like environment and take a look around. Hey, what's that over there? Why, it's a little taller than the surrounding grass, and I'll be darned. Those stems have a grayish-bluish tint to them. Why, I know what that is. That's wild garlic! Before you harvest, you've got to think about where you're foraging. You should never pick from the side of a busy road because there are a lot of pollutants that can come out of the tailpipe of an automobile. Where I'm picking is not a busy road. Not a single car went past in the 15 minutes I was there. The cars that you see and hear are at least 20 to 25 feet away from where I'm harvesting. Wild garlic is best harvested in early spring when the underground bulbs are still full of nutrition. Grab the stem as close to the soil level as possible, then pull straight up. The bulbs usually slide up very easily. One way to tell the difference between wild garlic and wild onion is that wild garlic comes out of the ground nice and clean. Wild onion has a sort of netting that covers the entire bulb, and you don't see that here. The stems of wild garlic are hollow inside. The stems of wild onion are solid. So if you break off the stem and you see that it's hollow, that's another way to know that what you've got is wild garlic. Okay, check this out. Sometimes after it's finished flowering, or instead of flowering, wild garlic will produce this head of tiny little bulbs called bulbils. Each one produces a root, and when it falls to the ground, it takes root and starts another plant, which is just one of the reasons why this plant is so plentiful and you really don't have to worry about over-harvesting it. Oh, and those little bulbils, you can eat them too. Take a look at these two clumps of wild garlic. On the right, you have a big clump. On the left, you have a single stem. Now, I'm going to suggest you go for the single stems when you harvest. It will, in the end, mean much less work in the kitchen. The single stems produce bigger bulbs. Look at the size of the bulbs on those smaller stems. You may think you're getting a bigger clump and therefore more garlic, but when you look at the individual bulbs, they're much smaller, and this means it's going to take much more work for you to clean them, get all the dirt out, trim the roots, chop them up, whereas those large single stem plants produce a much heftier bulb, which results in less work for you, and I think that's always a good thing. Seriously, which one would you rather work with? Puny little garlic bulb or hefty garlic bulb? I think the choice is clear. So what are you going to do with all that wild garlic when you get it back to the kitchen? Well, the first thing you're going to do is wash it, and that's going to take a while, so you'll have some time to think about how you'd like to use it in your cooking. If you like chives, use the stems of wild garlic just like chives. They make a mild oniony addition to soups, salads, or egg dishes. The bulbs of wild garlic have a strong taste, halfway between that of garlic and onions. You can use them fresh, or if you have a food dehydrator, dry them and keep them for up to a year. Wild garlic is an abundant crop. You can easily pick enough in spring to last you the whole year. In fact, you may never have to buy garlic or onions again.